Good morning. My name is Colonel Denny Peeples, and I am the Senior Aerospace Instructor for Prescott Air Force Junior ROTC, and I am here to tell you today about some rules that we have at our unit that allows us to be better than the rest. I am trying to teach my cadets to mature through their high school environment, to learn common courtesies, as well as how to act in a proper professional organization. Our Junior ROTC is well recognized nationwide as being outstanding. We've been a distinguished unit since the first days we opened up the unit. These rules behind me that I'm going to talk about here in a minute, some of them are dictated by the school, some of them are dictated by the Air Force, and some of them are made by yours truly, Denny Peeples, throughout the years because of issues we've had. First things first, when you walk into Junior ROTC, you're walking into a professional environment, a military professional environment. We're not saying you have to go in the Air Force. I don't care if you go in the Air Force. I don't care if you go in the military. I do care that you have a goal and that you are actually pursuing it. One of the common courtesies, professional courtesies that we'll be adhering to is that everyone will be calling me Colonel. Okay? These birds here, these means that I'm a Colonel, an officer, 6th rank in the Air Force. It's equal to a captain in the Navy, and you will call me Colonel Peeples. Prescott Junior ROTC is very, very unusual in that we have we don't have a sergeant. We have a lieutenant colonel is my sergeant, Lieutenant Colonel Bill DeKemper. You can call him Colonel also, that's perfectly acceptable, but his true rank is Lieutenant Colonel Bill DeKemper. With that, you have to call me that until you graduate. The day you graduate, you can call me Denny, you can call me Peeps, is my fighter pilot colonel sign from back when I used to fly jets. I don't care, Mr. Peeples, but when I'm giving you a grade, you need to call me Colonel, okay? And Colonel DeKemper. With that, in a professional operation, whenever the leaders enter a room, you stand up, okay? So my cadets will always stand up the first time each day that one of us enters the room. And that's quickly exhibited and quickly commanded by their flight commander. We'll stand up and say, room 10, up! And everybody will stand up, and then I may greet you. I may tell you some issues that we got going on today, some notices. Then I'll say seats. Everybody will sit down. So those are common courtesies that we go through regarding Colonel DeKemper and myself and standing when we come in the room. Between each cadet, we expect you to call each other Cadet Smith, Cadet Peeples. You don't have a first name in our organization. You're called by your last name. So I will be referring to you as Cadet and then your last name. You need to do that in and amongst yourself in our professional world when you're in ROTC. I don't care what you do outside of ROTC. I don't care what you do in English or math. But in our professional world, you'll be calling each other Cadet Gonzalez, Cadet Temple. Sir and ma'am, it is incumbent, it is required, you will fail my class if you do not call me sir. And I expect you to each call each other ma'am and sir also, inside my classroom, in the professional environment we have. Know that is not usual, that's not the norm for Arizona, southwestern America. It is quite the norm for southeastern America, where I grew up in South Carolina. So again, the people that are watching me here for Yavapai County, my ROTC units, need to realize that nationwide, Prescott is not normal, as we say. And in the general population that does not use the sir and ma'am is a minority across America. So I want my kids to be prepared to go across America and be respected and show respect amongst each other. So you will use the word sir and ma'am You will also use those words when you're in uniform, with your other teachers and other adults here on the campus, okay? And I will check on that. Once a year, I'll give a piece of paper and tell you to go take this to your teachers, and they will see whether or not you have had proper courtesy with them. Janitors, our administration, our parents that are on the campus, the teachers, you need to say sir and ma'am to them, as I do to you. I'm not telling you to do anything that I'm not doing. We don't cuss in ROTC. I don't care what you do in your home. I don't care how you were raised. I do care how you present yourself in a professional environment. Cussing, it means C-R-A-P, D-R-A-N, darn, and any other thing that you may think is mild. You go, I wonder if that's cussing. I bet that's cussing in Colonel Peeples' minds. If you slip, everybody slips every now and then, you need to do the second most important statement in our cadet handbook and say, hey, I'm sorry, I accept responsibility, I won't do it again. And that's fine. I expect peers to be watching peers on this. Okay? Public display of affection. We don't do that in uniform. We also don't do that in our class. So on the days we wear uniform, you do not have public displays of affection. By the way, all these are pretty much detailed in our cadet handbook, which is at our PrescottJROTC.com website. But the idea behind public display of affection is it's inappropriate in a professional environment. You don't see people hugging and kissing when they work for Google or Microsoft. It just doesn't work. I mean, go to Walmart, you see people working. You don't see people goo-gooing and holding hands, even if they're husband and wife in Walmart. It doesn't happen. Okay, the other part of PDA behind me, you can see, is called the Rule of Three. That means that we are never, ever in the ROTC environment with just two people. This means two males, this means two females, it means Colonel DeKemper and I will never be counseling you by yourself. We'll always have another cadet there, usually the cadet commander or cadet leader, as well as, or Colonel DeKemper, the two of us will be counseling you. That is an environment imposed upon us, and actually it's my rule, because of our ROTC is pretty large, believe it or not. We have this studio that is geographically separated from the classroom and the heritage room and the uniform room and the PE room and our conference room and my office. There's a lot of places where teenagers, people, can get in trouble by doing inappropriate things. So we do never, ever are alone with somebody else. We're always a rule of three. The PDA is directly related to that. The other thing about, I wouldn't say it's PDA, and I guess I should have put it up here on the board, is basic rule in a professional environment is you don't touch anybody. You don't go give everybody a bro hug because I'm so glad to see you. No, we don't do that because somebody might interpret it wrongly. You do not know what kind of day that other person's had. They may not like to be touched. Well, he started the hug and I just sat there. I've heard it all. And to be honest, freshmen, 85, 90 freshmen I have, the biggest problems in learning our world was from my freshman PE classes. Oh, it's her birthday, I have to give her a hug. She doesn't want you to give her a hug. She doesn't touch her. Oh, he asked me to massage his feet. I've heard it all, but I'm sure I'll be surprised this year by something else. I've had one individual that was convinced that every girl was loving the fact that he was hugging her. And he is not with us anymore. You do not touch in our environment. The only touching that goes on if you're celebrating a win or you're celebrating an athletic event, you can give a high five or you can give a knuckle bump, and that is it. That's all I will do. Okay? Yeah, we're all excited. Yay, let's give a high five. That's great. But you don't go and give everybody big hugs, grab them from behind, give them massages. oh, all he wanted to do was me to massage his head. No, you don't do that in ROTC. You don't do it in any professional environment. I'm trying to teach you to be an adult. Along those lines, we have a pretty extensive videotaping system in ROTC. Obviously, I'm being videotaped now, but in our complex of rooms, we have 8, I believe, cameras that are videotaping 24/7 with about a month backup. Every year, it helps me because every year I have some female, some male that says, "Oh, he hit me," or she grabbed me when, she hugged me and I don't want to be hugged. I told her not to hug me. Well, guess what? You're being videotaped. And if there's any conflict, we can resolve it. An actual funny story about the videotaping is that we had a cadet get bitten by a little mousey and taken to the emergency room by the parents. They were worried about the mouse, and he was accusing me of raising mice in the ROTC room, and it was horrible and all this stuff. And we go pink, pink, pink on the videotape, and we watched him, it was a guy, of course, chase the mouse around the heritage room, corner the mouse, pick the mouse up 3 times till finally, guess what? The mouse bit him. And when showed that videotape, his answer was, "Oh, sir, I was protecting the women in the room." So obviously that helped me escape a false accusation, and that individual was not with me because guess what? He was lying. Remember, don't lie, cheat, or steal. If you're caught with something, you need to fess up and be honest. But anyway, back to the videotaping in ROTC with our rules. You're being videotaped all the time for your own protection. CS, community service. That is required in our world. 10 hours per class, per cadet, per quarter. So that's 40 hours for the year. That's 10% of your grade. If you are a perfect student in ROTC, you could possibly make a 90.0 without any community service. And I would call you above average. That sounds great. But I don't call you excellent, like A plus work, until you have done something for someone else who cannot pay you back. As I've mentioned in other videos, it's quite demonstrated that people that volunteer succeed, students that volunteer make better grades, and I am trying to make you a better citizen and more mature so that you can face life's challenges. Volunteer grows you. And oh, by the way, I should take a survey. 15%, 20%, a lot of my students end up volunteering in the careers that they're interested in. You know what, I may want to work at the hospital. Let me go volunteer at the hospital and end up being a doctor or a nurse or an assistant. Oh, you know what, I really kind of like the old people, so then let's go volunteer at the VA and end up being a geriatric physical therapist. That has already happened out of my 1,000 students. I want to volunteer. Let me be on the Young Marines, or let me go help out the Sheriff's Department. Let me go volunteer out in the National Forest, or a church. I have about probably 15 of my students become lay ministers or pastors. So get out there and volunteer and do great things. Uniform. Nobody dresses up like this every day, not even me. Your uniform day is Monday every week, or the first day of every week if Monday is a holiday. You will be dressing up in either blue uniforms if you're 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year students. That doesn't mean sophomores. That means 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year students. In ROTC, you're required to wear uniforms. This is the most formal uniform you'll have with all the bling and all the rank. You could also be required to wear short sleeve blue uniforms or long sleeve blue uniforms, or one day a week, one day a month, you can wear a morale uniform, maybe our t-shirts, maybe our fatigues, or our flight suits if you've earned those. That is for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year students. 1st year students, freshmen, juniors who've joined our organization as a junior. For the first year, orientation year, you don't have to wear this. You're not expected to. You're expected to dress up in a professional manner, which is defined as going for an interview as a teenager to Dillard's or some professional nice place here in town. You are expected to have collared shirt, closed-toed shoes, no holey pants, nothing inappropriate, no skin for female, and some people call it church clothes. That's great. That's a professional wear. You can either wear that or you can wear your unit t-shirt that we will be issuing you, the one that says "Go do great things." That is called uniform for orientation year, which is your first year. During your first year, after first quarter, you may earn the right to wear these uniforms, the blue uniform. I don't know, I think it's $700, $800 we will lend you to wear all the different uniform outfits. And you can earn that right after the first quarter. That's all run by my logistics commander, and they will tell you the specifics. Actually, the specifics on our website. You go there and look for the uniform policy letter. Okay, lunch. Lunch. We have a lunch bunch at ROTC, both lunches. You can come into Junior ROTC to our heritage room, to our classroom, and be with friends. If you bring someone who's not in ROTC, you are absolutely responsible for them. We have the Eagle patio behind ROTC, basketball. I play basketball there, or the pull-up bars. We have picnic benches. You know, good time. So please enjoy that during lunch. If you abuse it, which happens about once every 2 years, meaning a disagreement that needs to go to the videotaping referees, or too much trash. That's typically the issues. Students that are not in ROTC have too much trash, and the ROTC kids are not having pure accountability. We need you to knock it off, clean up, don't have anybody yelling, no conflicts. We're opening up as a service to my cadets, as the club that you're in. When you're in clubs, you may have to do really weird stuff, all these rules. Not everybody else in Prescott High School does not have to do all these rules, but you get some benefits. One of the benefits is our lunch scene. So please come and do it. It's a lot of fun, but again, act responsible, act maturely, and call your peers into question if they're breaking rules or doing something dangerous, dumb, or different. Why do I do this? Why can't I hold hands and kiss my girlfriend Susie when I'm in uniform? Why can't I give my boyfriend Bobby back rub? Because I'm trying to get maturity and better citizenship taught to all of my cadets. It's a process, step at a time. And oh, by the way, the first step, I tell my freshmen, about half of them get it, is that you need to be better than the rest. You need to be the cadet that says, "Hey, knock it off, stop talking. Colonel Peeples trying to say something." No one should be talking when one person is in front of the room. You don't go whisper, whisper, whisper. "What did you do last night? Who were they talking about on Facebook? Oh my gosh, he's so good looking. Oh, she's so hot." No, knock it off. You can do that all you want outside our classroom and on your own time. You don't do that with us. That first student that does that and tells his peers to knock it off, be quiet, hush, I am impressed. That's the first step of maturity. I think I'll write a book about this. How do you mature in high school? The second, a final step, how about that? A final step of maturity is those cadets who do not accept improper behavior amongst their peers. Again, in another video, I talked about integrity, doing the right thing when no one is watching. Don't lie, cheating, or stealing, or beating the dog, or watching porn when no one's watching. But also integrity is doing the right thing when everybody's watching. Everything I have here on the board, you're going to know. You're going to know when Bobby and Susie are kissing. You're going to know when Phil is cussing. You're going to know when Jared is wearing his uniform improperly. You, my cadets, need to have peer accountability and peer discipline. And you need to go up to Jared and say, Jared, look, you're missing the U.S. Oh, well, I forgot it. Why? You got to be kidding me. We knew we were going to wear this on Monday for a week. Why are you not wearing it? Please, please do that. That will prove to me that you're being mature and you've come up to a higher level of the maturity development to be a better citizen and make your unit, your organization that is bigger than you, better. And I promise, if you see Susie cussing and saying the F-bomb and saying other things and trying to be the big lady, she's just mad at Ms. White, she's just making me get an F, and you come and say, hey, it's not her fault, it's your fault, you didn't know the homework, and stop cussing, we don't do that here. I expect you to do that. I expect you to be mature enough to tell your peers to knock it off. And I promise you, Susie will say, what do you mean? You cussed? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I won't do it again. That's all I'm asking you to do. To have peer accountability, peer discipline, so that you will mature and become a better citizen in your life. I think that is all of my rules of engagement. By the way, rules of engagement are what you agree to and are told when you go to war. Not that we're going to war in PrescottJROTC, but I'm going to war with your immaturity and your lack of knowledge of professional environment so that you can do this and be better prepared for life. Any questions? Please come talk to me and I will be glad to answer them. Thank you very much.